Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I will explain how you can start making minions in patch 10.1 just by doing some PvP activities. And keep in mind, this is something you can already start doing right now. Basically, for those of you who played during the first patch of Dragonflight, I'm sure that you are all aware of the different Crimson Combatants gear. With all the different crafting professions, you were able to craft these green BOEs, and these green BOEs were some of the best items you can sell on the auction house for two main reasons. First of all, as most of the very good items are all binds when picked up and you can only get them through the crafting order system, these different green BOEs, when crafted at the maximum rank, were some of the best items you could actually buy from the auction house. And so a lot of people were just buying all these different BOEs in order to then gear up their alts. Also, as you can see, these different green BOEs would increase your eye level in arenas and battlegrounds. So for a lot of people who were starting to do PvP, it was basically one of the main requirements in order to then start being performant. What was really great with these different Crimson here was the fact that, first of all the different recipes and plan were BOE. So it means that even if you were not interested in actually crafting all of them, you were still able to sell all the different plans and recipes on the auction house for a lot of gold. And also, it's simply the fact that it's very easy to craft and you can make a lot of gold just by crafting, again, all these different items. So for instance here, if I take my realm as an example, I crafted 288 of these different rings, and as you can see, I sold them for 1.5 million. So trust me, you can make millions and millions just by crafting and selling all these different items, or also just by selling the different plants and recipes on the auction house. Now, what's really interesting is the fact that with patch 10.1, we are getting a new version of these different green BOEs, and this time this is the Obsidian Combatant's gear. As you can see, this time it will probably reach 385 eye level when you craft it with the maximum rank, and also it will increase your eye level in arenas and battlegrounds to 424, which is extremely good. So trust me, a lot of people are going to buy all of these for themselves or for their rerolls and alts, and so you will probably be able to make millions of gold again just by crafting all these different items. Same as in the first patch of Dragonflight, also all the different plants and recipes are going to be extremely expensive, and if you manage to get your hands on some of them, especially now at the start of the new patch, you will probably be able to sell them for 200-300k gold on average. Now, when it comes to how you can actually get your hands on some of these plans and recipes, it's actually pretty simple. The first way is by simply doing some of the random battlegrounds, random epic battlegrounds, arena skirmish, and the different brawls, because when you win these different events, you will receive one of the victorious contender strong boxes, and inside these different strong boxes, you will have a chance at getting some of these random PvP plans, recipes, and designs. Keep in mind, you don't need to have a specific profession in order to get some of them. Even if you have no profession on your character, you will still have a chance at getting some of these plans and recipes. Then after that, you also have, of course, War Mode on. So when you turn on War Mode on, and this is something you can do directly in Dragon, then when you just go all around the Dragon House, you will have a chance at getting some of these Wars You Play crests. And when you open the crest, you will have a chance at getting some of these plans and recipes. So again, this is a good thing to do. So I would definitely recommend you, at least for the first week, to turn on War Mode on. So like that, sometimes you will be able to find some of them and to maybe have one of these plans and recipes to drop. Finally, what you want to do is go here in the Gladiator's Refuge in Dragon, and you want to talk to Celterex. Celterex will sell you one of these Victorious Contender Strong Boxes for 5,000 honor points. And if you're doing a lot of PvP, probably you will have a lot of these points, and so this is a really good way for you to actually spend them and try to get some of these really expensive plans and recipes. It's also important to mention that only a few are actually binds when picked up, and these can be purchased directly from this guy right here in the Gladiator's Refuge. You will need to have a character that has inscription in order to purchase these different techniques, and as you can see, you will just need some of the awakened hires in order to buy some of them, and like that you will be able to craft all the different trinkets with inscription, and these trinkets, trust me, are extremely good. So this is something you can actually already do right now. You don't need to farm anything, just go inside, talk to this guy, just buy the different techniques, and you can start crafting all these different trinkets and sell them on the auction house for a lot of gold. So I would say that all these different items are equally interesting, but some of them are even more interesting than others. For instance, the amulet and the signets are the two best items. So if you manage, for instance, to get the design for one of these items, you will probably be able to sell it for at least 500k gold during the first few days of patch 10.1. And same, if you decide to learn the different designs and start crafting these different items, you will probably be able to make millions and millions in the first few weeks of patch 10.1. Next to that, of course, you also have the cloak. The cloak is also going to be really interesting because, again, this is something that everyone can use. And then after that, you have all the different trinkets that I just mentioned. All of them, as you can see, are really good. I made probably like, a few millions on all my different realms just by crafting and selling these different trinkets. And again, this is something you can already start doing right now. So try to do that with your character that has inscription and you will probably make millions of gold. If you are wondering what is going to be the most profitable between selling directly all these different plants and recipes on the auction house or learning them and start crafting all these different items, I would say that both are going to be equally interesting. If you are really someone who doesn't really like to craft items and like to post things on the auction house and everything, then try to maybe just sell these different plants and recipes for a lot of gold during the first few days. And if you see that at some point there are too many people selling them as well, and the competition is too intense, then you can try to maybe learn it and start crafting some of these items. But of course, if you are someone who doesn't really have any issue with crafting a lot of these items and selling them, then I would say try to maybe do that because you might be able to make even more profit. It might just take a little bit longer, but trust me, especially during the first week, you might be able to make millions and millions, especially with, for instance, the rings, the cloak, the amulet, and all the different trinkets. One thing also that is very important to mention is the fact that you can flip all these different plants and recipes because some people won't really know the value, and so you can definitely make a lot of gold just by actually finding some of them and by buying them. So for instance, here, as you can see, I found one of these new patterns for the World of Cloth hood for only 1,500 gold. So I'm definitely going to be able to make a lot of profit just by either reselling this pattern or by simply learning it on my tailor and start crafting this item. So really make sure at each time you're visiting the auction house to go and have a look. And if you find anything that is below, I would say 50k gold right now, maybe try to buy it, especially the signets, the amulets and everything, or anything below 10k for sure, you will be able to resell it for quite a lot of gold. So just to give you an example, for instance, right now, the design for the ring is selling on average for 500k gold on US realms. And as you can see, one already sold for 1 million gold. So definitely you will be able to make a lot of gold if you manage to get it. On European realms, one got sold for 500k gold on Draenor. And then there are just a few available only for just a few hundred gold. So really trust me when I say like here, you can make at least 500k gold profit just by buying these. And right now, for instance, on European realms, there are no one crafting the signet. So if you are amongst the first people, you will definitely make millions and millions of gold. So just before I finish this video, let me buy one of these Victorious Container Strongbox and let's see if I manage to get anything that is worth inside. So let me open it. And yes, I got one of these resilient chest piece, which is actually really nice. And so as you can see, it's not really too difficult to get some of these. So try to do that and hopefully you'll manage also to get some of these nice plants and recipes and to make a lot of gold. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime, I wish you all a great start of patch 10.1. Bye!